Hello, both sides of the conversation family. We welcome you to this virtual space crafted especially for you. My name is Jada Curry, and I'm both sides of the conversation's marketing director and graphics design specialist. I want to take some time to ground us all as a community into this space we're about to open up in. So let's go through our community standards. Conversation is providing a safe and honest space when conversation be respected. We do encourage healthy debates and conversations. Don't personalize anything with anyone. This includes name calling, bullying, trolling, or shaming. This will not be allowed or tolerated. Your perspective is yours. It is not a prescription. You do not have to agree, but show respect. These community standards apply to all of our live shows and any virtual spaces that we hold on social media, including YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. We want to make sure that we are caring for each other as a community. This is our priority in all of our endeavors as both sides of the conversation. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's show and continue to stay in touch with us via YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or all of them. All right, thank you for listening and see you soon.
Welcome, everybody, to both sides of the conversation. I'm John Henry, Executive Director. Today is Sunday. So you know what that means. We're going to have another Sunday conversation. And guess what, community? This is our last Sunday conversation for this year in 2022. We'll be back live in 2023. All new things happening in 23. You'll see it. Just watch both sides of the conversation. We're going to be impact the community like none other. I know it's a lot of announcements, a lot of things that we got to get through. This is the end of the year show. So y'all just be patient out there. We just got through blessing the people today. My team is running late. My co-host, Pretty Tony, is driving, trying to get in. Just be patient, community. We'll get through it today. We're a little unorganized today because we've been out in the community making impact this past weekend. So with that being said, we just go jump right into this. To all of the new followers, people just tuning in for the first time, every Sunday, we are here at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for our Sunday conversations. where we tackle the issues, the topics, the taboo conversations, the stigma conversations in our community. And today we talking about submission, y'all. This is going to be a great conversation. I can't wait, all right? I got some help. I got my brother AR. He's coming back to help. I got Yolanda here that's going to be helping support this conversation. We got some phenomenal folks that want to talk about submissions. Kings, are you submitted? Queens, are you submitted? We're going to find out today, but we are excited for today's conversation. Again, a lot of things going on in the community, so just be patient today because we're going to get through this. We'll have a conversation, and we're going to bless the people like we always do here at both sides of the conversation. First, just want to say it's been a phenomenal week. Okay, a lot of things going on. I know a lot of people haven't seen us. A couple shows canceled. People are moving around. It's the holidays. We still here though. Both sides of the conversation. We're gonna keep it popping. We're gonna make it happen. I want to give a bunch of shout outs. There's a lot of people in the community that's doing a major impact for our community. First, I want to start off with my sister Pia Harris in San Francisco. This past week on Friday, Black Friday in San Francisco, they was open the new marketplace in the Black Market store in the Fillmore. It is very, very important for community to get over there and support those Black businesses. 18 Black businesses is going to be in this market space. They did the ribbon cutting this weekend. Our mayor was there, a number of our city officials. A lot of folks have been impacted by this Dreamkeeper initiative. Again, there's some things happening in San Francisco and across this Bay Area that is impacting the Black and brown communities. And we all know what's going on with the Dreamkeeper and how it is helping our communities. So shout out to all of the amazing folks that helped put together the Dreamkeeper and is keeping it running. First, we want to say shout out to our Mayor, London Breed. Shout out to our board president, Shaman Walton. Shout out to Director Davis of the Human Rights Commission. Shout out to Dr. Sy for taking the charge and leading into all of the Dreamkeeper initiative folks that are behind the scenes and all the folks at the Human Rights Commission that continue to push Black equity forward in San Francisco. And as we take the lead, y'all know the rest of the country follow. So we are doing some amazing things this year. A lot of things are happening to impact Black community. We got California reparations happening. We got San Francisco reparations happening. We are talking. We are making things happen. Our community folks are fighting together to make sure our people, the Black people who has been impacted by this country, by these cities, pay their fair share to the people, okay? And we're going to keep fighting until we get equity for all of our people. A number of shots out. I got to continue to go, but shout out to the Dreamkeeper initiative making great impact. Want to give a shout out to my guy Maurice Rivers from the OMI participant project, Invest Black, all of our OMI folks over there who continue to impact the community. There's been a number of events that has taken place that they've been blessing families with toys, gifts, money, helping impact our community during these holiday seasons. We know it's tough out here. We know discretionary funds is getting tight. But we got some community folks that's doing the right thing and impacting the community. And I know Maurice just took off because he needs some self-care. He's going on a nice trip. Maurice, I know you just landed, brother. Have a safe trip, King, and enjoy your time off. And thank you for blessing the people before you leave like you did. Also want to give a shout out to my guy, Nate Ford, who continues to impact community with our young folks through the SF Rebels. They are doing phenomenal things, toy giveaways. Things are happening in the city. Want to give a huge shout out to my guy. Y'all know Uncle Stank, Mr. Impact. Phenomenal job Mo Magic and Collective Impact did this week, blessing 1,000 families in our community, making sure everybody had toys, gifts. I mean, just did it big, man. Y'all know Uncle Stank, man. That's Mr. Impact. He back, stronger than ever, closing out the year right, impacting the people. All right, so shout out to Mo Magic, B Magic. Shout out to the Collective Impact team, all of the amazing folks at LAOH that continue to impact our community. We want to say thank you and we appreciate you. I get the phone call. People are like, man, this is amazing. Thank you, Uncle Stank, for continuing to be a pillar of our community and blessing the people. Also, want to give a huge shout out to my guy, Renard Monroe, for just pushing through. He has some family loss and things, and he's still pushing through. Bless the people this Friday for amazing toy drive, amazing giveaway this weekend. A lot of families impacted. Shout out to Youth First and all of the amazing Invest Black folks that's just been putting it in for our community. Salute to all y'all for continue to make our city rock. Also, want to give a huge shout out to Suge Smith, April Spears, all of the Black folks in Bayview, Hunters Point, D10. They are doing a toy giveaway right now at Cafe Envy. I couldn't be there because we've been running around blessing the people. But again, shout out to Suge, shout out to April, and all of the amazing folks over there that are blessing folks right now. They giving out toys, giving out gift cards, giving out things to our community to help the folks in D10. So just proud to say that it's some work happening. I know it's a lot of negative stuff people see in the newspaper, a lot of political drama, a lot of things going on, but there's still some amazing folks, okay, that are in the community, blessing the people, making sure that our communities are impacted, not only with this Dreamkeeper funds, but all of the resources and funds that they've been getting throughout the year to help impact our community. Also want to give a huge shout out to all of the amazing organizations, okay? Because I know it's too many. I can't sit here and give everybody a shout, but I want to specifically give those folks shout out because all year they have been consistently impacting the community. Shout out to Black Man in Hands, my guy Rob News, making impact. Shout out to Us for Us, all amazing folks that continue to do the work. Shout out for all of the amazing folks. Shout out to Brittany Ford, Mo Magic, and B Magic, just doing amazing stuff, man. And to all the people, we love y'all for doing the work, okay? We know some poverty pimps out there, but we got some amazing folks in the community. Want to give a huge shout out to Virginia Marshall for her 70th birthday. She's a pillar of our community. Can't leave the show without saying, happy birthday, Queen. We know you're 70 and you're still holding it down. Got to give her some love. Also, got to give a huge shout out to the Baby Opera House and all of the amazing folks that put on the Winter Wonderland this past week. Okay, it was amazing. Our mayor was there. Our community was impacted. So many things for the community to do in this holiday season. We know it's a very tough time for some folks. But again, our community is moving. So shout out to Smiley. Shout out to the new executive director over there. Shout out to D. Hillman. And, we're going to continue to work and do our thing to impact the community. All right. With that being said, last but not least, see, I always give everybody else credit first. Shout out to the both sides of the conversation team as we continue to bless and impact the community. The last 2 days, we've been on a mission, blessing the people. Yesterday, we had an amazing turnout for the folks in D10. We was posted up on 3rd and Palouse, blessing the people with food, clothes, hygiene kits. All right, we gave away money. We gave away some big money in cash, gift card. We impacted our people in D10. So D10, shout out to all the people that came out and had a great time. Shout out to our both sides of the conversation team. And shout out to our amazing director, Ayanna Matthews, for stepping up, doing our unhoused programming and making sure all communities are impacted. And then finally, today, we just came back. Y'all see us all over social media. We was in Oakland today. We blessed the people in Oakland today. We fed the folks. We gave money. We gave gifts. We gave all of the amazing things that they needed out there for self-care. And we want to say shout out to the town. We gave the town some love. And that's what it's all about, impact the community for the holiday season. We've been blessing folks all week long. Got some other young folks that we bless. We got some old families we're going to bless. All the way up to Christmas. We're going to be dropping up like Santa Claus, dropping cash. Because y'all know we give our people cash. We don't give our people $20 gift cards. We don't give them $5. We give them hundreds, all right? We're passing out hundreds. Go ask the people. We bless them. All right. With that being said, enough of that. We've got enough of that stuff. We got enough going on. We're going to get into our world of news and announcement. And we're going to get started. I see my co-host just popped in. She's trying to get going. Y'all be patient. We're trying to get things going. But we'll jump into our community news before we get into today's conversation, our events and things of that nature. All right, with the world news, we're going to start off. The former police officer, Aaron Dean, was found guilty of manslaughter for fatally shooting Atiana Jefferson. According to the reports, the former police officer pled guilty to manslaughter in the death of Atiana Jefferson, who was fatally shot in her Fort Worth, Texas home while playing video games with her nephew in 2019. I know that was a tragic story. It was up there. We'll see what type of sentencing this officer gets. But again, community, we got to keep fighting and rocking with each other because this police violence on some of the folks in our community is still happening. It's not as over. We learned from George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, but as community, we still got to mobilize and keep the pressure on these folks because it is still happening in our community. We still ain't safe and justice is still not there, but this is at least a start of some of that justice in community. Also, the CDC is starting to recommend face masks again after a spike of COVID cases last week. The U.S. Center of Disease Control and Prevention has warned that the recent spikes may cause people to start putting back on masks. It is reported that New York, Los Angeles, and other cities had high levels of COVID. So it looks like they are going to start enforcing the mask. Okay, I've been telling people, Let's do our best to social distance and try to keep it as good. I know everybody like walking around with their beautiful smiles like me. We like to smile, but we got to wear a mask, okay? This COVID is still going around. Our organization, a number of other organizations are still putting out COVID tests. If you need some COVID tests, please reach out to us. We'll get them out to you. We've been giving them out all this weekend, the past week. I got another 5,000 kids coming. So again, we're doing our part to keep people safe. But again, this holiday season, I know people are going to be with their families. I know people are going to be trying to engage and be around each other. Please safe distance. And when you can't, wear a mask or keep a good distance. And again, get some COVID tests. Test all the people before they come in your house so that we don't spread this COVID. Also, the RSVP virus, this respiratory virus, has been impacting our young people in the community, okay? We know in D10, especially in San Francisco, the high number of asthma cases and the respiratory issues that our community suffers. A lot of folks have been impacted going into the emergency rooms, and those numbers are increasing as well. Also, this flu season is real. A number of folks have been going in the hospital for the flu. So make sure y'all be careful when y'all see people coughing, make them cover their mouth, wash your hands, do your part. Let's be safe out here. Also, we got another cold front coming into the Bay Area this week. I know there's cold weather coming all across this country, but here in the Bay Area, it's getting cold at night, okay? It is frost on all of our streets. It's black ice. Be careful out there. Stay warm. Do your part to make sure you give away any old coats, blankets to folks that's unhoused. Let's not forget about our unhoused folks, okay? We did our part today and yesterday, making sure folks had hoodies and coats and gloves and things of that nature. Community, help out. Everybody can do a little bit and make great impact. Also, the first in the nation experiment to give cash to pregnant Black people in San Francisco is expanding to 4 more counties in California. I think they are receiving about $6.5 million in this grant since January 1. This year, they're going to be giving $1,000 a month to nearly 150 Black residents during this portion of this pregnancy, first 6 months. They're doing this test to see what it looks like. This is that, I forgot what they call it, extra equity money for the community. So they're going to be doing that. I think there's a number of other counties that's stepping up: San Francisco, Alameda, Contra Costa, Los Angeles, and River counties. They're going to be giving folks $1,000. I think they calling this universal income, okay? But they starting off with Black women, and that's a great job because we know our single mothers are struggling, and that extra $1,000 can buy diapers and things like that. So all you haters out there saying, why should we give people the money? Bless the people. Our Black queens need that money, all right? So that's good to see that the program is rolling. They're looking at putting more money in it. I think also this is part of the reparation talk. Again, there's a number of things that's on the table when we talk about reparations. So a part of it is going to be universal income, mental health, education. There's a number of things that they're looking at to impact Black and brown communities, but we're starting with the Black folks, okay? Don't forget, our people haven't been paid for the slavery, for the hard labor that we were never paid for. And yes, United States of America, you owe my people. Let's go. All right. We're going to go down to our community events, and then we're going to get started with our guests and everybody tonight. The first event that we have up on the screen is our Mental Health Matters this Thursday, December the 22nd at the West Side Community Center. 2501 Sutter Street in San Francisco. They're going to be having some mental health care. Shout out to all of the amazing folks over there at the West Side Center, okay? Shout out to the executive director, Marianne Jones. That queen is still pushing. We love you, Marianne. Bless the people. All right. We're going to have a number of Kwanzaa events. The first Kwanzaa event is Thursday, December 29th, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Mini Love Ward Recreation Center at Ocean View Playground. Please go out there. My guy, Maurice, who's getting self-care, he's taking a charge on that. He'll be back. That's going to be at 650 Capitol Avenue. It is always a great, great Kwanzaa event. Black folks, come learn about your history. Come learn about Kwanzaa and understand all of the unique things about the Kwanzaa, all right? Also, the Potrero Hill family, they're having their Kwanzaa event Friday, December 30th, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at the Potrero Hill Gym, 801 Arkansas Street in San Francisco. For more information, the phone number is up on the screen. Please reach out if you want to be a part of that Kwanzaa event. Also, the Roasted Crab is going on. My guy, he's doing this event Friday, December the 30th, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., 332 Golden Gate Avenue in San Francisco. If you'd like to purchase tickets to get some of that good old crab, make sure you hit that invite bright link. And we'll get it up on with the flyer in our other social media handles as well. Also, the monkeypox vaccination is still available to all of the folks in community every Thursday from 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. at 701 Alabama Street in San Francisco. If you need to get a monkeypox vaccination, please go up there and get it. It is free to the community. I think they're also going to be giving out flu shots and different things of that nature to help out impact. So please get up there and get your vaccination if you need it. Also, our Peak Park prevent their Friday Night Fun is still going on through this new year every Friday at the Hamilton Rec Center from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at 1600 Gary Boulevard. This is another violence prevention measure. We're trying to get our young people off the streets. So shout out to Park and Rec and to all the amazing folks at Peace Parks that's trying to keep our young teenage folks off the streets. Okay, this is a violence prevention measure. They're giving folks haircuts. They're doing beauty. They're giving them money. They're doing a lot of stuff to keep our young folks off of the street causing havoc. So shout out to the Peace Parks and to the folks that keeps that amazing program running. Also, our Saturday Family Fun Days is still happening with my guy Nate Ford. They are doing field trip sporting events and much more every second and fourth Saturday. For more information, reach out to my guy Nate Ford at SF Rebels. The email address is up there on the screen. And shout out to my guy Nate again. He is trying to keep our young folks busy during this winter season while they are out of school and making sure that the families have opportunities to do some field trips, no cost to them with their young people. Also, our Both Sides of the Conversation capacity building fundraiser is still going on through the new year. Y'all know we need some support, okay? Don't just think because we out there blessing the people, we got everything we need, all right? We still need some support. Community, get behind us and support our fundraiser so we can continue blessing the people. Also, we are still looking for volunteers and folks who have some amazing talents and skill that can bring their love, their passion to our organization. Go to our website, check out our Join Our Squad and our volunteer page. If you have some unique skills and you're like, John, I got skills, I can bring something, we can help the people. Please make sure you connect with us. We would love to interview you, talk with you, see what you can bring to the organization and see how we can have you a part of what we're doing to impact our community. Also, if that's not you and you're like, John, I don't have time, okay? You can go to Amazon Smile and support us on Amazon Smile, okay? All you got to do is just go to Amazon Smile, look under the charitable organization link, okay? Click on that charitable organization link and put on there Both Sides of the Conversation as your charitable organization. No extra cost to you, but every time you shop on Amazon, 0.5% of those purchases will come to help our community. So shout out to all of the Smile folks, okay? It's a number of folks who signed up and chose us as one of their chosen organizations. So I'm a smile for y'all. Thank y'all, all right? And ladies, I'm speaking to the ladies because I know all y'all be on Amazon shopping, spending money. I see y'all. I see the Amazon trucks in every neighborhood, every community, 24/7. And I see you ladies sneaking outside, grabbing your package, looking over your shoulder, making sure your husband not watching, sneaking the packages in the house. Okay? All right. If you don't want me to say nothing, you better choose Both Sides of the Conversation as one of your charitable organizations. Or I'm going to ring the doorbell when the truck leaves and say, hey, brother, did you know your wife just came out of here and put 20 packages on the side of the house? All right, I'm going to tell on y'all, okay? So y'all better support us, all right? And then for all of the new folks that just joined in, for some of the folks who just tapping into Both Sides of the Conversation, might not know or what's going on with us, please go to all of our social media handles. Check us out. We on all social media handles at Both Sides of the Conversation. We're on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We everywhere. YouTube, check us out. See some of the work we're doing, how we impact the community. And again, we love you all for supporting us, and we love supporting you all. So we're going to continue to do our part through this 2023 year. We got a lot of changes, a lot of things coming up, but we're going to impact the people. I promise you. All right. So with that being said, our shows for the rest of the year is canceled. Our youth will be breaking off our New Year's on January the 8th with their youth show. And they're going to be talking about how to achieve your goals in New Year's. So we excited for our Both Sides of the Conversation youth team. That team is about to grow, expand. We got some amazing folks who like, hey, them youth is right over there. We're going to support them. So we're looking forward to more community folks getting behind our youth and supporting them for their shows. They've been having some amazing conversations. Community, you can learn something from young people. Go back and look at our YouTube. Check out some of their Sunday conversations. And let's make sure we support our youth. They are the future. With that being said, I promise you, I will never start a show without honoring and highlighting my co-host, Pretty Tony. Welcome back, Pretty Tony. How you doing, baby girl? Holla at the people.
What's up, Bishop? What's up, community? Happy Sunday. I hope everybody is blessed and highly favored. We were in community today. It was beautiful to be in a town business today, supporting the community, loving on them, feeding them, and just being in fellowship with one another. We got to remember this time of the year to give back and remember that everybody don't have everything they need. And so whatever you can do this season that's on your heart, just try to remember that everybody ain't got it. So we got to be there for community. But I'm excited about today's show. It's gonna be controversial. I see a lot of women on the backstage, so I'm ready for the women to be here to have my back, because Bishop John, he tried to come for us. So I got backup, community. I got backup. This is part 2 to part 3. So y'all know what's going on. If y'all been following us, y'all know this battle that we've been having from the men and the women and things like that. And this topic right here is about to go down, community. Yeah, hide your face, John. Hide your face, because we coming for you. Okay. We love our black men. Don't get me wrong. But I think Beyonce say, who rules the world? We all know. Girls.
Pretty Tony, I am starting the show off right, okay? I am going to submit to the queens today. I'm starting off right. I'm going to submit. The women rules the world, okay? I'm going to submit today. I'm submitting, okay? Forgive me, queens. I am submitting today, okay? I will submit. All right. With that being said, all right, before I bring up AR and the rest of our people, I just want to give a quick definition, because I know in our black community, black love is challenging, okay? The word submission is very triggering to the queens of the community. It is very powerful to the kings of the community. So, with that being said, we're going to just talk a little bit about submission and then get started, okay? I want to make sure it's clear today, that everybody understands the definition and what it means, all right? Submission simply means to put the needs and wants of other people before your own. So when a woman submits to a man, it means to be willing to allow him to lead when there is a disagreement, provided his leadership is reasonable and just. Submission in marriage is a spirit of respect of a wife towards her husband, and the attitude intended to help her and her husband to live more contentful, peaceful life together. Problems and disagreements between a husband and wife in marriage are very inevitable, okay? It's not a lot of black folks marrying our communities. I don't know if now let me stop. Let me stop. We're gonna get it started. All right, that's the submission definition that we're going to use today. There's a number of other definitions to the submission, but that's what we're going to use today. All right, with that said, we're going to bring up my guy, my only guy here today, AR. Welcome back. He's co-hosting with us today. AR, how you doing?
I'm not sure why you let the king come up first, but okay. Hi, AR.
Hey, what's going on? What's up, community?
AR, don't let me down today, okay?
No, it's good. I came ready for all the smoke today. I said submission. I said it's gonna be some smoke. I said I came for all of it though. In the spirit of love.
All right, in the spirit of love. With that being said, we're gonna bring up Miss Yolanda Thomas. Yolanda, welcome to the Drama D today.
Hi, how y'all doing?
Are you ready to submit today, Yolanda?
I'm ready to submit to the right person.
All right. With that being said, we're going to bring up our guest today, Miss Precious. We're going to bring you up to the screen. Please welcome yourself to the community. Tell them who you are, what you're doing, and give them a little bit about you.
Hello, everyone. It's great to be here. My name is Precious. I am a mental health advocate and a life coach. I'm happy to be here. I have a lot of things going on, but submission is a huge topic that I'm ready to tackle today. Okay.
Oh yeah, I got some mental health issues. You got to help us out today.
It's all right. I'm here.
All right, we ready for it. Fellas, get ready for the smoke. Fellas, help me and AR out. Get in the chats. We're going to need some support today. They coming for us. All right. Miss Ricky Harris, what's up, Queen? Welcome to both sides of the conversation. Holla at the people. You got to unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. You got to click the unmute. Hit the mic and unmute yourself.
Yeah, on my end, it's running really slow. Can you guys hear me?
Can hear you now. Go ahead. We can hear you now.
Okay. Hi, my name is Ricky Harris, and I come from Queens Haven Bounce Back Program, and I'm coming with a wealth of eagerness to learn what it even means to be submissive. So I'm here, and I'm just really glad to be a part of this conversation.
Well, we ready. I was about to say your mic is already submitting you today. So, all right. Last but not least, our phenomenal Jocelyn is here. Our hidden gem from the other day. Powerful queen. Welcome back, Miss Jocelyn.
Hey, y'all. So I am glad to be here. I'm a founder of Single Moms Excel. I'm a single mom and I'm a health coach. So I'm excited to hear what y'all got to say today.
We trying to hear from the ladies. Me and AR, we're submitting. We're going to be quiet and listen to the ladies. I want to hear what y'all think about submission. So everybody's checked in. I think we got some other guests that's going to be trying to join us shortly. But we're going to get started. Pretty Tony, we just go kick it off. You want to ask the first question, or I can? We're going to start off why. Let's see. Is it difficult for women to submit? If so, why? We're going to start off with that question. And I'm going to let Tony lead today because this is a big conversation for the ladies. Me and AR, we just go submit now. All right? Go ahead. Y'all can answer that question. Why is it so difficult for these women to submit to the kings of the community? See, fellas, they already submitted. I love it already. What's going on, man?
No, I'll go. I don't think it's hard for us to submit. I think there is a lack of understanding of what we're submitting to, because there's a lot of men that want to lead, but they aren't going anywhere. And there's a lot of women that have submitted to men that don't know how to lead. So when you say submission, you're asking us to yield a sword that we've been handed, which is independence, and you're asking us to give up our space of security to necessarily give someone the opportunity to lead us into destruction. So when it comes to submission, I don't think it's hard. I think we can and we want to, but it will depend on what are we submitting to.
So I'm gonna just start the controversy down because I gotta push back, okay? Because I hear this a lot from women, okay? I'll submit for the right man. I'll submit for the right situation. I'll submit for the right leader. And I just don't agree with that. I just don't agree with that. I think if you're a submissive woman, you're submissive. This is not binary. You're not just on and off. It's either in you or it's not. That's my perspective. AR, what do you think? But that's what I mean, that's what I gotta say. These women out here, they always got a clause to being feminine and fun and submissive. Why is it a clause? AR, what do you think, AR?
I think submission is like, I've had this conversation hella times over the years, right? I love how you told me to come here. I'm like, whoa. I think submission is something that, first of all, got to go both ways, right? I think submission looks different for a man though than it does for a woman, right? But I also think that submission is something that you got to figure out, right? And it takes time, because I agree with her. It's a lot of dudes out here that's not going nowhere, right? And they think because they're a male that they should lead. But I think a leader, right? If you take away the gender, a leader should have certain qualifications, right? Not necessarily experiencing certain things, right? But they should have certain qualifications. They should, have a sense of direction. They should have a sense of discipline. They should have some level of maturity, emotionally, mentally, right? If some women might add financials into that, like, oh, okay, well, he got to be making this much, and then it makes sense for me to follow him, or, everybody got their preference. But I think there's some basic things that people got to have in general. So when it comes to men, I feel like, John, it's more on us, right? Because it's almost like history kind of says that we're supposed to be a certain way, right? And whether one agrees with that or not, I think she has to figure out who he is in order to feel comfortable just letting her guard down, because it might be like a protection type of thing on the protector, you know what I mean, protect herself.
I see the ladies are in for the smoke today, AR. I see them in the chats, okay? We in trouble. They coming for us. Get ready, King. But Precious, I answered the question. You spoke. I'm going to give you opportunity, but I wanted AR to put his twist on it, okay? We getting different perspective today. But go ahead, Precious, if you want to comment on my pushback about submission.
Yeah, I mean, I can see where you're coming from. I think you're wrong, but I can see where you're coming from. However, there is a point to where, like, we have not been taught how to submit, because back to what I was saying about women being independent, we're hyper independent. So most women we naturally rest in our feminine, which a lot of people talk about feminine and masculine energy wrong, and they use it as gender, but we all have feminine and masculine attributes. And women are so stuck now, especially being single mothers, in a masculine role when we naturally are supposed to be in our feminine disposition. And it's hard to unwind that. That does not mean, on top of the fact that men have also been put in a space of femininity. So we're battling, there's a battle of the sexes going on that doesn't allow women to properly submit to a man, because we are not submitting to what we think in our head is a man. So when we are seeing these attributes, and he's supposed to be this, and I'm supposed to let him lead, and I'm supposed to let him do this, and we don't see that, and we already are in a masculine space, how are we supposed to submit to someone who is exhibiting attributes that is not conducive to us being submissive?
Shout out to my guy, Santana. I got to give my guy, my kings are showing up every day. Santana, come on in here. Come talk with your king, brother. All right, go ahead, Miss Ricky. I see your hands up.
Okay, so this mic really got me in submissive mode. But no, I would just like to say too that I think that it comes back, well, for me, it comes back for my parents and how I seen my mother hold down the whole household and, being a strong, independent woman. And, I was married for 24 years. And in that role, we had reverse roles. I went out and had the job, you stood home and, took care of the house. And I think that me, like, I'm single now because my husband has passed. But for me, it's like, I would want that. I want that. I want to be submissive to someone. I want to have that man have say so on what, it is that they want me to do. But it has to be within the lines. You know what I'm saying? If you're not encouraging my soul, if you're not speaking to my soul, and if you're not, if you're not bringing anything to the table as far as me being able to submit to you, then that's, it's out of the question. You know what I'm saying? Because, I have, we have that, us as women sometimes have the mentality of if it's 50-50, but if I'm doing 95 and you're only doing 5, then no, I'm not going to submit to you. You know what I'm saying? What do you have to offer me that will makes me want to submit? Right? But I would love to have that in a relationship, but it just can't be so black and white to where I'm submitting to you, but you have nothing else to offer me. But so I'm giving and you're constantly taking and never replenishing back to me. And as far as my spirit and my soul, speaking that into my existence and elevating me, help me to elevate myself to the next level. And I don't think that we have that in men today. Everybody, the men that I have encountered, you know what I'm saying? It's always take, and I'm a giver. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to make sure you straight. Whatever you need, I got you. You know what I'm saying? But then I have that mentality of, it's me doing the work. You know what I'm saying? And not you. So it's a lot of work that needs to be done within me in order to be submissive. But I would love to have that's, you know what I'm saying, in my life, you know, but it has to be, you know what I'm saying, it has to be even.
So Queen, I have to make sure I'm hearing right, because I started hearing transactional conditions in your conversation there. When women say a man has to do this and that, it's very transactional. We need the queens to submit. If you're a submissive woman, I need you to submit. Let me lead. If you're going to conditionally and transactionally, you know, put that type of language in what we're doing, it's just not going to work. It's just not going to work.
But that's the problem. That's, for me, that's the problem. It's, you know, saying it is conditional, because I'm not going to be the one, right? You know what I'm saying, putting you first, doing everything and putting you first, and not doing my self-care. You know, and I need for you to help me to self-care. You know what I'm saying? So yes, it is conditional on my part, but you know, I'm not just going to jump into a relationship or jump into having just being submissive. You know, so I just have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? That is what I, you know, looking at it on the outside, that, you know, said I would love to have that. I would love to experience that. But in the meantime, and in between time, I'm not just going to give my all to somebody who's not going to at least, you know, replenish anything back into me.
John,
I'm
can I
just
say
going to
something?
say I am conditionally holding on to my wallet for women who think like that, okay?
John, let me
Go
chime
ahead,
in on that.
Yolanda.
So I come from an era, I was born in 69, and I watched my grandmother and my mother be submissive to their husbands. Now, my grandmother ran the household, right? Because my grandfather worked 2 jobs. However, for me, I want my king to lead me. Now, their situations, times is different. I have a neighbor, the wife do all the work, she do everything, but she's very submissive to her husband. To me, either you submissive or you're not. I don't want somebody that I can walk over or I can run. It's not about, oh, I may make more money than him. It doesn't matter. If I make the decision to marry this man and make him my king, I'm going to go off his leadership. Now, I'm not just going to lay back and not say nothing. I may say, hey, babe, I don't agree with that or whatever, but I want a man to have that final say so. He make the final call. I want him to give me that look. If I'm talking too much, you know, out of line, give me that look, you know, and I know that, okay, fall back. You know, I believe in respecting my king. I'm not going to be disrespecting him, arguing him in public. Now, of course, if he's been too disrespectful, but I don't like that. Let's talk about this in the car or at home. But that's just me. I'm very submissive. Now, I will say this, I made a mistake in the past by being submissive to someone who wasn't my husband. So for that, I have made some adjustments, but I do believe in, you know, hey, if you marry, common law married and all that, you know, let your man lead. Now, that's me. I don't want nobody that I could walk over. I'm just going to keep it 100. That's my 2 cents.
I love what you said, Queen, but again, we cannot have submission turned on and off like a light switch. Either you are submissive or you're not. You cannot put in stipulations if I'm married. Either you're submissive or you not. We have to stand on that. Fellas, where y'all at in the chat? I need some support in here. I see my guy, Santana. He's coming in here, ladies. Y'all better watch out. This king is very powerful. Y'all see he got his black hoodie on. He's coming to take some souls today. Santana, welcome, brother. Welcome back to both sides of the conversation. Holla at the queens, brother.
First of all, John, thanks for having me back, man. And first, I want to say hello to all the lovely ladies on the podcast. You guys are colorfully, amazingly beautiful. All of you guys. I love your hair. I love your style in the top corner. I love your words as well. I love the salt and pepper braids. And I love the serious look on your face. All of you ladies. I just want to say a couple of things that I've heard so far. Number one, I don't like the way of how you, it's kind of inconsistent when I hear a woman say, I let my man lead. It somehow indicates that you have control when a man's natural position is to be your leader. Now, if you are spiritual, then that means your man follows God and you follow him, and your children come next. That's from a spiritual sense, number one. If you don't, let's take out the spiritual piece of it. I don't know any woman that doesn't want a man who's better than she is. You want your man to be stronger than you. You want your man to be able to teach you things and expose you to new experiences in life. So that way, you're not equal to your man in that sense. You have equal rights, but your man is a natural leader. Now, how do we vet men? A lot of women lack the skills. They lack the skill set to vet men properly. In my life coaching, I run across so many women. The first thing they lead with is their accolades. If a man makes $40,000 a year or $400K a year, he doesn't care about your accolades. It doesn't matter. There was a time when I didn't have money. So guess what I had to use in order I couldn't use my money to make a woman submissive to me. I had to use consistency and effort because that's all I had to offer. So if money and leadership, if all these things tie into what it wants, because some women, I think, and I'm going to shut up here on this last point. I think a lot of women want a Superman to submit to. Dude got to be over 6 feet, got to have a six pack. He got to be good in bed. He got to be able to draw, write poetry. He got to be able to fight. Work out. What should we do here? So submission is not conditional. If your submission is conditional, that means you exert a lot of masculine energy. I'll close on that note.
Hey, Santana, let them know you read all of the sixes. You 6 foot tall. You got a six pack. And you a six-figure earning brother. Go to tell them, King.
Actually, I just went up to the double six figures this year with my restaurant. Thank God, man, for the glory and the blessings. I'm back on the East Coast now. Yeah.
All right. Praise God. Praise God. Jocelyn, go ahead. Jump in there, Queen.
Okay. I want to say, I know you had asked at the beginning, why is it so hard for women to submit? I think number one, a lot of single, I'm talking about single moms from a single mom perspective, is that, a lot of them are independent for so long. And so when they get into a relationship, they're so used to doing things on their own. They're going to make it happen, this and that. But now when you come into a marriage and it's like, oh, I have to, respect, his feelings, how he feels about it, different things like that. So there is a transition, I believe. Not saying that she can't, but she has to realize that it's not her by herself. She has a man that's there that can lead, that can guide, can help, and be that support for the family. Also, to another thing that I feel that it's hard for women to submit is that submission comes with a level of trust. The more that you trust your husband, the easier it is to submit. So at the end of the day, it's like, for me, it's not the physical features I'm going to submit to a man that's 6 foot, like you described. For me, it's the values. If the values are there when I first meet the man, and his values is pretty much close to what I believe, it's not hard for me to submit to a man that has, values the same as mine. Because remember, my emotions are involved, my beliefs, my every part of me that believes that's me. So that what I'm saying is it's easier to respect and submit and be like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to choose to do that. Because here's the thing, you have to choose to submit. You have to choose to put your feelings aside and be like, okay, I'm going to trust that he's going to lead and he knows what he's doing, and let's go. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like, it's not belittling him. It's not, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times we can belittle someone, not even know it. Well, why you got to do it? Well, and all these smart remarks and all of that, you have to choose not to say those things. And so at the end of the day, a woman has to feel secure. Sometimes I believe it's a woman's pride that gets in the way too, because, she wants to be right all the time. She's always right and different things like that. And so she's going to keep fighting, and she's going to keep, because she feels like, she's being rejected. And it's not so much of that. It's having, again, it comes with, there's a lot of hidden issues why women don't submit, and don't have a hard time submitting, because they're dealing with their own selves, what I'm saying, and their own things, and how, so at the end of the day, we have to learn how to be humble. We have to learn how to hold our tongue. We have to learn how to be, what I'm saying, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's not how you say it, when you say it. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of wisdom that goes into, different things. And sometimes, I mean, a woman can express her feelings, of course, do that in a way that is respectful and whatnot. But at the same time, if he had made his decision, we back up and be like, hey, okay, no problem, I support you, so that he can lead and he can feel safe, that he can come to you when there's a problem, and he's not going to have a fight. You know what I'm saying? A fight. So, I mean, I've been divorced. I've been in a marriage, you know what I'm saying? And so I've learned a lot from it, you know what I'm saying? And so those are some of the things that, even personally that I've dealt with, but then I can learn from that and be like, okay, all right, Joss, I need to chill.
So Jocelyn, I gotta ask you and Precious, because y'all both are life coaches, mental health, wellness. What are y'all doing to help educate our queens on how to be submissive, how to be a woman, all these things that you're talking about? Because in our community, we just not seeing it from our sisters. So what's going on with the queens?
Well, a lot of it is working on themselves, because see, I mean, we can talk about submission all day, all night, and have our opinions about it. But if we're not healed on the inside, if we're not confident who we are, if we're not, loving who we are, we're not going to be able to give that love and that patience. Because remember, love is kind, love is patient. It has no record of wrongs, all of that. So in order for you to give out that type of love, you have to love yourself first. So that means you have to do your work. So what we do, even for Single Moms Excel, we have the woman work on herself, work on her being confident, work on her, who she is, so that way she can give out that love. Because it takes a woman that loves herself to be like, a secure woman, to be able to be like, okay, and back off and be like, and know that it's not a rejection. It's the fact that you're choosing to be able to be meek, and just say, okay, I'm going to trust, and I'm going to give him the support that he needs, so that he can be the man of that house, to lead, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day. Because, and then it takes a woman of faith. I'm gonna go there. It takes a woman of faith to know that no matter what decision he makes, it's going to work out for the good. So that's the part. So a lot of women that, if we go to the spiritual side, okay, hey, you might think it's the horrible decision, but at the end of the day, if you go back to the word, all things work together for the good to those who love God and who are called according to his purpose. It's going to work out. So it would be wise for the woman to have that faith and know that that's going to work out no matter what, and that your husband now can appreciate you because you are supporting his decision. And, God got it, because at the end of the day, God will talk to him anyways. So, that's where faith is. When we talk about in a faith, a woman, really, supporting that man.
So Jocelyn, I just want to say this, because that's the number one thing that are on women profiles on dating sites. I'm a God-fearing woman. Oh yeah, I'm a faithful woman. There's not a lot of faithful, God-fearing women out here. I'm gonna just tell you. They talk that God-fearing stuff. They have no faith. That's all. I'm just telling you. That's why the numbers reflect the way they do. Because if they really was God-fearing and they really trusted the Lord in faithfulness, I think we have better relationships out in our community. I'm just saying. Precious, what you got to say, Precious?
Come on now, John. Don't put that all on us. There's a lot of work to do in the community, period. Like she said, there's a lot of healing to do. And that's the type of work that I do at A Pocket of Sunshine. I help not just women, but I help people who are incarcerated, businesses, and individuals on that healing process, learning self-love, learning self-care, learning how to utilize tools to heal from trauma, because a lot of our responses are trauma responses. I just held a group with one of my partners at Mixed Behavior, and we held a group for men and women to come together to have a discussion. And we had a discussion, and some of the young ladies were talking about, how they don't even really care for, to have a relationship at this point. And a lot of their points were trauma responses, and not even their trauma responses. It's trauma responses from society. Society is telling you that you don't need to do this, you don't need to do that. Forget a man. Women are, making more than men, and da 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 da, and they're running with it. So this is not even their response. This is their response to how society is telling them how they should feel. So my first thing is to understand who you are and what you're looking for, and what things in your life is showing up in your relationships, because every single thing we do as an adult is a reflection of the things that we have been through or the things that are going on in our life. So I have people look and reflect and do a lot of self-reflections on, why is this showing up in my life? So like, I'm sorry, I forgot your name, the guy that spoke. Santana. Like Santana said, he was already a leader. So everything he did, no matter if it was the money or not, you can't say no, brother, because you a leader now. You know what I'm saying? That didn't just happen. So don't say no. There's a lot of things that you may have had to work on to become the leader that you are today. There are a lot of men that are not leaders because it's a longer story, but medical apartheid or whatever it is, that a lot of men are not leaders. And we also have a society that caters to men being not submissive in the way that we are talking in a relationship, because both of us should be submissive, but in a way of they don't feel like they have to lead. They can find someone to do the leading for them. They can find a woman to take care of them. Everything is on, AOB, everything is on a woman. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that are very comfortable with living a lifestyle of someone else taking care of them. And that comes with understanding and knowing, how did I even get here? How did we get here as women to where we have to be the forefront, the homemaker, the mom, all these things above putting my relationship in the forefront now, to understand how can we work together to continue to build and make this great? And how can I be submissive to allow him now, this person that is in my life, to take charge? And is this even a person that I can let take charge? There's a lot of women that lead with emotions and allow men that are not a leader, then don't know how to submit to them in the way that they need, just run their life into the ground and wonder, how did they get there? And there's a lot of reasons why they got there, but they never even tried to check and see if this man was the right man, because they're going off of, I just want a man. I just want company. I just want companionship.
Santana, I know you got something to say. Go ahead, brother.
But listen, they bring up great points. John, every time I'm on your show, I always have a crush, and I'm trying to decide who's my crush right now. I'm not sure. But listen, but no, seriously, I think that what they're saying is we can't put it all on women to do the work, to be submissive. And they are absolutely correct in their assessments. They are 100% correct. Now, here's where the issue tends to lie for me about submission. And I kind of want to stay on that topic of submission and what it looks like. Now, perhaps we should be talking about what it actually takes to be submissive, and what submission even looks like. Maybe that's the conversation we should be having right now, because I think I heard someone say that women are so hyper independent, and that they measure themselves through an equality aspect of materialistic gains and degrees, and they use that to pair themselves with their partners and men. And to be very honest, I've rarely seen doctors marry other doctors. They tend to marry nurses. I rarely see CEOs marry other women who are CEOs. They tend to marry the secretaries or either cheat with them, right? Let's just call it what it is. So I think that the work that you guys are doing is God's work. As far as the life coaching, what you guys are doing with single mothers, I think that is the actual work. But what are we teaching them? Not only to be with a man, how do you work with a man? What do men desire? Now I'll say this and I'll be quiet. I really believe women do not trust even their fathers to vet the men who come into their lives. Women don't even have good relationships with their uncles and their brothers to say, hey, check this guy out for me. Tell me what you think about this man. And let me tell you something. I have a daughter. and I have a granddaughter. And here's the problem. My daughter insists on keeping her boyfriends away from me because at one point, because she knows that I will vet them and she wants me to scare them off. The truth of the matter is, if I can scare them off, they don't need to be with you. So essentially what happens is this. Women have no one who they trust outside of an ex-boyfriend who they say is their friend, which I think that's utter BS, right? We're friends. We're not together anymore, but we're friends. Okay, you smash this guy with your friends. And he's my reference and my resource. That's baloney. A lot of women talk like that. So, but where's your father? Where's your uncle? Where's your brother? Where's a male figure in your life who you've never been intimate with, who's not attracted to you, that can help you vet these men? What man are you talking to understand what men like and what submission looks like to a man? And fellas, to our credit, AR, John, what are we doing to create leaders in our communities with these young brothers so where they can step up and be confident in their skin that they're in, and they can make proper decisions and not be emotional and not make decisions based and not spend money off of emotions and make decisions based off of trauma. So where do we step in at? So I think the discussion here is submission, but what does it look like and where does it start?
I think that's some great points that you brought up there. And I think Precious was leading to a great point in the conversations that she was having. But I think, again, like you said, that's why these conversations are so important to have. One, we need to have people in our community, one, who are vulnerable enough to have these conversations is the first thing, right? Secondly, when we talk about mental health work, just mental health without the relationship, we have to tell our people what it looks like. Because I think a lot of life coaches, mental health folks, we get on here and we talk about healing, the process, the tools, the coping, and all of that. But we don't give our community an insight of what that looks like. I hear women just say, I'm healed, I got a therapist. No one's healed. Healing is an ongoing process. You get what I'm saying? But how do we educate our community in the way where we're telling them what it is if they're not getting a therapist or if they're not getting that professional help? How do I know I'm on that pathway? Because I just hear it a lot, like, oh, I'm healed. I got a therapist and I got all the answers. But there's a lot of delusion in our community. And I have to say that, Shantana. And when it comes to our women, it's a lot of delusion, a lot of fantasy stuff that goes on.
John, we have to say this. A lot of our women have been sold a bill of goods, a bill of BS for a long time. All right, let's be honest. A lot of men will intentionally pursue a woman with no intention on truly loving her or being with her. Some men are like that. It's sexual attraction versus a genuine attraction to really want to be with that woman, right? So what happens is the part of the submission for a woman, it looks like, you're not going to come in here and trick me like the past previous relationships. This is going to be different. So women tend to hold to their guns, and I can't blame women for that. That's the absence of male leadership in our communities. For example, I have a Muslim friend. You know what he told me? He said, the reason why a lot of men from other countries will marry Black women is because, would date Black women and will have sex with them, is because they said that they have no fathers or any uncles or brothers that would stop them from having sex with them. That's what he told me. He's in Michigan, and Michigan has the largest Arab community outside of Arabia, outside of the Middle East. So we have to get back to protecting our women as well. I have to be honest about Black men. You know, in some cases, we've done more harm to our community than crack cocaine has. In some cases, we have. Okay, so I really believe that we have to get back to that. But the delusion that you speak of, John, the delusion comes from the modern dating world we live in now. And I think that Generation X, those mothers have ruined the millennials and told them, you don't need a man, get a job, get your degree, and you'll be fine by yourself. That's what was taught to my sisters. And my sisters are older than me, I'm the youngest. And I heard these conversations in my house. So I'm quite sure there's women on this panel that were told the same things as well. So I think that's what the delusion is tied up at. So once they get older, reality kicks in and it's not a delusion anymore. It becomes anger.
I definitely will take that. We do have a lot of work in our community when it comes to Black males and how we lead and how we handle the queens of our community. But I also have to say this, Santana, my biggest question, I'm in these meetings, okay? Y'all know I'm very involved with our legislative processes and what people are doing and who's advocating the support. And I'm gonna tell you right now, one of the biggest problems is I'm in these spaces. Nobody's advocating for Black men health, mental health, or support. We get all the ladies coming to the table. Oh, we need money for women, domestic violence, women are homeless, single mothers, mental health this. We need this. But nobody's talking about what the man needs are in our community. And then they somehow figure everything in our community is going to fix. And I keep telling these people, you can't heal one half of our community. Yes, the Black queens have done a phenomenal job of getting self-care, getting mental health, having girl conversations, linking up, working on themselves. But where's the brothers at? Right? They give all of the money to the queens and they forget about the kings, and they stand there wondering why half of the community is still in turmoil. We got to invest in the kings as well. You can't just heal the women of the community and say the man's supposed to figure it out.
But John, we don't speak up. Black men do not speak up. It's almost like getting a Black man to go to the doctor once a year. My grandfather went to the doctor when he finally got cancer. He never went to a doctor. He went to a dentist and got his dentures, but he never went to a doctor, ever.
But
so getting a black man to get mental health and to become vulnerable with the present state of what we've been through, we have to do a restructuring and a reconceptualization of our mindset to get a Black man to say, I'm hurt, I got issues, and I need to have a conversation about it. There's not many spaces for Black men to do that, so we're afraid to.
And that's the hard part, is because, you know, it's almost like you go outside, it's war. You know what I mean? Like, I consider myself a warrior, and I'm not saying like I'm violent towards people. You know, I ain't saying it like that, but I'm saying I'm always ready. And I feel like the environment made me that way. My daddy never told me to be like that. You know what I mean? But you just go outside and it's like that. You go to school and it's like that. You go to the mall and it's like that. You go to a party and it's like that. Right. And then I don't know, like I'm sitting there listening, and I feel like it's deeper than, you know, the topic is submission, but I feel like it's deeper than that, right? Because on the one hand, a woman might not bring her boyfriend around to her uncles or her dads, but it's almost the reverse is, what men did he have to look to, right? That kind of groomed him, that kind of told him like, nah, you're not thinking right. Nah, that's selfish. Nah, you gotta check yourself on that, right? You know what I mean? Not everybody was blessed. I'm blessed to have a father, and my daddy's a pastor, and you know, I had no shame in that. So I got some game when I was a kid, and I learned some things as I got older, but it's a lot of people, a lot of men that never had that. So you see and hear them saying and doing crazy stuff, and it's like, the problem is, what do you do with that? Right? What do you do with that? Because if they don't speak up, they can't get help, right? If there's nowhere for them to go, they can't get help. Right? If there's no one that wants to help them, right? Because then you got the other part, right? These are the same men who come in relationships and kind of want a woman that kind of run things because they don't have those skills. So the women don't want to help them. Older men can't help because they don't know, right? Or they might not know. You feel me? Younger men for sure can't help them, right? And then they go outside and it's competition amongst their peers. It's competition amongst their neighbors, right? And they feel like they always got to be on defense. Always got to be on defense. I feel like that. I'm always on defense, right? So I don't know. This is interesting. I'm just being real quiet, you know what I mean? Because I'm really.
No, AR, you bring a great point, but I mean, this is what I tell sisters when they say that. It's that time you hit a good point. And they say Black men don't speak up because every time Black men speak up, we get shut down. We get our feelings weaponized. When we speak up our truth as Black men, we become chauvinists. We hate women, things of that nature. So why do I speak up? This is why I always tell Black women, when you get a man who opens up and tell you his true feelings, don't wait till your emotions is high, you mad at him, and then talk about all the things that he told you, because he's never going to open up again. And so many of our men in the community have shut down because women have weaponized the vulnerability of Black men. So let's keep it real, Santana. I ain't going to let you get all the way left, but I agree with you. But that's part of the problem. Go ahead, Precious.
Because I'm definitely an advocate for Black men. I love Black men. I think that we don't only need spaces for Black men and Black women separately. We need to have communal space together. This is a great platform for that. So thank you for that, John, just to put that out there. But the goal of A Pocket of Sunshine is to do community healing. My goal is to have an actual community center for us to do community healing. And one thing about what you were saying with women, and I say this all the time, women, y'all can get mad at me if you want to, but we have one privilege, I believe. And that privilege is that we don't have to be accountable for men's feelings. And that has come from us being able, like, our only one thing to be able to weaponize men about is y'all masculinity. So anything that doesn't go in our favor, we have the privilege to say you're not being a man because you're talking about your feelings, or you're not being a man because you're being overly emotional. And that can be our out to not having to hear what the man has to say. And then it's also another thing of Black women only having a voice when it comes down to fighting. So we're so used to being combative. We're so used to being the backbone of everything, and then fighting a war with our men again, because everything we're talking about is systemic. Fighting another systemic war against our men from learned behavior. So we don't know how to communicate. We don't know how to talk. I say this all the time. Every single last one of us need to learn in a debate class, because it teaches you to have a conversation based on listening first, not listening to speak, but listening to hear, understanding where the person is coming from, and then having a rebuttal from the full finished sentence. Because somebody could be saying something at the beginning of the conversation, and then at the end of that, whatever they were going to say makes your whole argument, and it's something that you agree with. You know what I'm saying? You never know where that conversation could have went because you cut them off in the beginning because you didn't like what they were saying. So I think debate is I'm like a huge advocate for that, because we got to know how to have conversations. We got to know how to talk to really understand each other. You don't have to agree, but just understanding this is where you're coming from, and I fully hear you. You know what I'm saying? And I am an advocate for that. And like Black men being able to have a voice and being able to talk about what is on their mind is such a sacred space. And I've always been a space like that for men. So I'm glad that I get to be that part of it. But there has to be a larger part where we hear each other. Like we really need to hear each other, because there's so many forces outside of us that are trying to tear us away from each other.
Hold on 1 second. Hey, Shaylin, you got to mute your mic, brother. I know you just coming in. Welcome into the conversation. One of the things, Precious, I'm glad you said that because I just came from a leadership class and I learned some pretty cool stuff about communication. I think you're right. Okay. We need to really have a class on how do we communicate. But one of the coaches talked to me about, what him and his wife does with communication. And they was talking about it just as leaders. One of the things he said is he would take a wooden spoon, and what he would tell his wife is, I'm going to give you this spoon, and I'm going to allow you to say everything that you feel you need to say and I'm not going to say nothing until you get everything off of your chest, until you feel like you are validated and you are heard. When I take this spoon, you can't say nothing, and you have to sit there and listen to me until I feel validated. And sometimes that takes a long time, but he said, we get to a point where once we don't have to give the spoons back and forth, we on a good path. So I agree with you there. But getting to that point of communication is very challenging. So many emotions when you have conversations. And sometimes I think, for ladies, I don't know, and I see the ladies coming from me. I'm getting texts, okay? I'm not women bash, okay? Let me tell these ladies something. I see all these text messages. See, this is why I get mad at these women, because they want to text message me instead of putting their name on the screen and speaking on your truth, all right? My deal is this. I'm a man. So when I'm addressing women, I'm addressing women. So you can call it sexist, whatever you want to say. I'm not going to speak for a woman because I'm not a woman, all right? So when y'all hear me saying something about women, it's not to bash women. I'm talking about experiences, life, and I'm a man. I'm talking to women, okay? I'm not finna talk about women stuff. That's not my part, all right? So you ladies calm down out there, okay? If you want to come on, just text me. I'll give you the code. You come talk to me, all right? I love my queen, but I'm a man and I'm talking to the women, all right? So hold your horses, young ladies. All right. So Miss Precious, she stepped away for a second, but I'm gonna open it up and we're gonna keep the conversation going. I think this is very powerful today. See, this is how God works. This is very powerful. But we're gonna pass it around. Anybody else got anything they want to say? Chaylin, I see you in here, brother. What you got to say, King? Unmute yourself.
I entered right now. Me and my wife right now, we going through some struggles because she just went on a spiritual journey, and within that spiritual journey, now she doesn't want to celebrate Christmas with the kids. She got baptized in the name of Jesus, right? Instead of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. She's been watching this guy, Geno Jennings, on YouTube, right? And so with the differences in the foundation, right? Because she went on this spiritual journey, it's kind of bringing separation in the household, right? And now the kids are getting confused. So, I want to give her, freedom to be able to express, her spiritual beliefs, but now we're on two different foundations. I was baptized in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. And so now I'm looking for, some advice, because if I tell her, well, the Bible says what? To follow your husband and let your husband, be the guide. Now it's, it comes in as me quoting the Bible and then saying, well, that's, the male in you, and you're not leading me in the right direction. You see what I'm saying? So any type of advice for me with this subject matter, right now, because it's splitting us apart, man. We're going through our issues right now. The kids are confused because now they don't get to celebrate Christmas because she don't believe in it no more. And this is all within like the last, 6-7 months. And I've showed her the word. I've shown her the scripture. Any type of advice for a brother right now would help. This is what we got posted, on our wall. You see that?
It looked like black.
Did you see that?
Yeah, we saw that. It looked like a black king and a
queen. Did you guys
back.
Get to see that? Let me show you to it again. Yeah. I'm gonna let you read it.
Well, you might have to read it to it. Your camera not that clear. You might have to read it to it.
You gotta read it.
Okay, so it says we're a team. We got that posted above, our bed, right? We're a team, and to me, standing on different foundations, right? We can't work as a team because we working in different beliefs. Like I said, now she wants to take Christmas from the kids. The kids are confused. She's walking around the house speaking in tongues out of term, right? Now, we all know, I believe God gave the gift of tongues, but you got to use tongues in what? You got to speak tongues in order. You got to speak tongues according to biblical scripture. She's not doing that.
Someone has to be around to interpret.
Right. So that causes me to believe, right? If you're doing this, are you really speaking in tongues? Is it you watching these YouTube videos and seeing other people speak in tongues? I can't, discern that. I'm not the one that gives the gift. God gives the gift. But is it you doing it properly? No, you're not. Nobody's there to interpret it. Number one, right? Nobody is in here being edified by it because we can't what? We can't understand it. I haven't been given the gift of interpretation. So it's a lot
I'm
of
gonna give
things
you
going
some.
on that's
I'm
bringing.
gonna give you some advice, King. I'm gonna give you some advice.
Okay, I appreciate that.
The lady look at the ladies like, John Henry, don't you do it. I'm gonna do it. Okay, this is what I'm gonna say to you, King. As men, we have to discern: is it about ego or is it about family? If you love this
Right.
woman, her perspective is hers, your perspective is yours. You're going to have to compromise and give up something if you want your family to work. The biggest deterrent that breaks up family is religion. If you love the woman, are you willing to swallow your ego, swallow your pride, and compromise to have the love of your life? That's the real question. Because when it gets into religion, that could destroy a family. You have to pull everybody to the table as the leader, as the male of the family. The kids can be confused, but you can't stack the kids up against the belief system. That's a fight that's never going to win. Y'all have to come together.
But let me say this to you though, right? It's crazy when you say that, because here it is, me and my daughter, she's my stepdaughter, but I call her my daughter. We go to the word, right? We present the word to her, right? Now, everybody takes on different views because they're different interpretations of what the Bible says, right? But to me, when it's a commandment, right? Just like, the 10 Commandments, the commandment in there, and it's in Matthew's. I'm sure you guys all know the scripture where it says, go thee, make apostles of all men and baptize them in what? In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. And then when she goes to Acts and she sees Acts where it says, baptize them in the name of Jesus, right? She takes that as it meaning something completely different. And that's where the confusion is coming in. That's where she goes and she listens and wants to go to
religion warfare today. This is what I'm gonna tell you. You want the advice? I'm giving you the advice.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Okay, I appreciate it.
We have to hold our egos. If we love the family, the woman that we say we love, there is compromise. You have to pull your family to the table and you have to work on that. Maybe you have to try the spoon trick. I don't know. But if you want your family to work, you cannot let your ego and what the Bible is saying dictate the love that you have for your family, brother. I'm just going to be real with you. Go ahead, AR. I see you up there.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. I've had similar, I guess if you want to call it an issue with my pops. Like I said, my pops is a pastor and he raised me, right? But I got very different beliefs than my dad. And we went to the scriptures and we went back and forth, but ultimately it's kind of like you got to let God be the judge, right? What's in our power is to love each other. What's in our power is to be humble, to be patient, and to understand that you, just as well as her, is going through a spiritual journey. And I say this almost hesitantly because you're an older man. You know, the scriptures talk about not admonishing older men, right? But I just got to speak from my experiences. You feel me? Like, I think like something my dad told me, he was like, man, it's more important. His and our relationship was more important than who was right or wrong. Because ultimately, God is going to judge and determine, you know what I mean? Like ultimately, God knows who's walking in truth. God knows who's half true. God knows whose heart is where, but we can't see that. Right. And so, and again, I say this hesitantly because you're an older man, but me in my mind, I'm like, if this is my wife and she has different beliefs than me, I have to look at it like I still have to lead my family. Right. And so you got to manage that in a way that says, I love you. Let's go through this journey together. Right. And if I want to sit down, she got to be willing to listen too. Right. But you got to be willing to listen too.
And see, that's where the issue was coming in, right? I'm blessed, right? I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I did 27 years in the pen, right? Got out by the grace of God, got married to a lovely wife, 20 years, younger than me. So God did some things in my life, and I'm appreciative of that, right? Had a daughter, right? And so we both met at the same church. You see what I'm saying? And now, like I said, this spiritual journey is taking her completely somewhere different, where it was kind of like, I'm going to do this irregardless. I'm going, and so the beliefs were in the beginning okay, but now they're changing, right? Because I guess, you know, she wasn't spiritually what you call satisfied. And them type of, to me, the type of individuals who are always seeking something higher, right? Instead of being on what they call solid foundation, right? And growing from there. And if we're not on, I believe, on the same foundation, right? And same beliefs, there's always going to be, you know, whether or not you're capable of talking to her, because right now she don't want to hear nothing. And that's what's got me upset, is the fact that I'm willing to sit down with the word, sit at the table, read the scripture, right? And get an understanding of it, because it says, study thyself to be what? To be approved. Well, I'd rather take the word myself and discern it, you know, instead of going to, you know, YouTube and listening to people who basically have their own agenda. And I've seen, you know, some of this guy's teachings. Are you guys aware of Geno Jennings?
So hold on a second, brother, because I want to pass. I know the Queen's got something to say, but first, before I let the Queen go, Santana, do you have anything you want to say to this brother?
I do. First of all, I want to tell you it takes courage to come onto a podcast and express the things you've expressed today.
I appreciate that.
I just have to say that, man, and obviously anyone that's listening to you right now can tell that your conversation, brother, you're hurt is what's going on right now.
Yeah.
And you're hurt, and you're hurt because you're feeling disrespected by your wife.
Right.
And we all know that men would much rather be respected than to be loved. In fact, the Bible says that women respect your husbands and men love your wives.
Right.
The truth of the matter is, and I just like to say this to all the ladies on the podcast and to you also, my brother, a woman only gets one time to be dismissive of a man's feelings when he expresses himself. Anytime after that, you can ask him how he's doing. He could have had a terrible day. He won't tell you after that. It'll be a lie. That's just how that's how we're wired to some degree, until we get that trauma healed and spoken about, right? My brother, for me, again, I want you to stay in constant prayer. I'm not a marriage counselor. I'm not a therapist, but I do go to therapy. I've been going to therapy for the past 6 years. And I'll say something to you that I share with my therapist. And that is, regardless of what you're going through right now, it won't be your tomorrow. And what you have to fully understand is what you're dealing with is something that is bigger than yourself, because you can't control or change what another person thinks and how they feel or how they will react. But what you're telling me is you guys started off on the same page, but you need to go back to the point of where it started to change back 6 months ago. What really happened? Me personally, no disrespect, I would question the mental health of my wife if I were you.
Right.
I would question the history of mental health in her family. I would also question what has happened, like I said, 6 months ago. Is there a trigger there? Has something set this off that's causing her to stray away from what you being the looks like?
What I believe, brother,
that's really all I can say.
She came to the understanding, which I had explained to her in the beginning when we first met, right? Her basic, you know, dream was to become a woman pastor, right? And we know what the Bible says about women being pastors of a church, right? So once she came to the understanding, right, that I had told her that she couldn't, she came to me and apologized and said, well, now I understand. And ever since that took place, right, it seems like because of the hurt, because I'll give you this, my wife can preach the word, she can quote scripture, right? But the thing about it is, I think her understanding of the scripture is where things, you know, become a problem. So when she found out this knowledge, right, or through somebody else after I had told her plenty times before, you know, that position as a pastor in leading the church, right, is not meant for women. Well, she went on this spiritual journey where after that, you know, she was seeking some type of new revelation, and now she's all over the place with her beliefs. So it's difficult, you know, for me to try to say, well, you know, why are you seeking something new when you already had your foundation?
Well, it's called self-involvement. But listen, brother, I gotta, because you wanted answers, so I gotta let the queens go. And let me tell y'all that's watching out here, this is very powerful if you're not paying attention. And I also want to give acknowledgement and credit to the queens, okay? Because they have been waiting patiently. When we talk about submission, they was respectful. They let the man address the man. And this is what we need in our community. Before they spoke, they just sat there and they let a man, each one of us, AR, Santana, address the king first. But now it's the ladies' time. Give this brother some lovely, feminine information for this king. Precious, we're going to start with you because you're the mental health life coach.
I just want to also acknowledge you bringing this to the table and being open and honest and, you know, willing to be vulnerable in your situation. But what Santana is saying, I do think there may be some underlying issues. Please do not go back and tell her this. Okay? If you can, seek someone who is neutral in your relationship for y'all to sit down and have a talk with that can mediate the both of you. But I would also say this is not, I don't know if this is the first time, but this won't be the last time that you all have something that is a challenge in your relationship. And I would just ask, if this is the woman that you are planning to spend the rest of your life with, then you have to take her in her moments of understanding and rock with her. You gotta rock with her and let her figure it out and see if this is something that you can, you know, you can live with, because this is her moment of figuring herself out. You're going to have a moment of having to figure yourself out, and you're going to want her to be understanding of you as well. We're all on an evolution journey, all of us. Like, this is what I teach. We're all on an evolution journey, and that looks different for all of us. And we're going to figure out things and unlearn things and try to figure out if this thing is for us. And I mean, as long as you are growing and evolving. Some people has chosen not to. There's some people that's in their path, but it looks like she is. And as you got out, you're evolving as a person. Y'all are on a growing journey, and she is in a space where she felt like this was something that she wanted to do and it was sacred to her. It may have been triggering what you said. I don't know what you said, but whatever you said may have been triggering for her. And she's in a space of trying to figure out, what does that mean for her now? And it may have caused a little psychosis. Like they say, you gotta, everybody, when you are in a relationship with somebody, please find out their history, because that is very important to the life journey of your relationship as well. What does a family history look like? Mental, physical, emotional, because that goes down to your children, that goes down to everything else. And sometimes things get a little bit murky. But if you do choose to be in this relationship with this person, then you got to let them figure it out. And you got to be able to be there to champion them on, to hold them up when they are weak, to, you know, for better or worse. All of that stuff, it really matters. Like, it's really important to be there for the person that you say you want to spend the rest of your life with.
Wow, that was very powerful, Precious. I know he might have lost his Wi-Fi, but when he come back on, I want to continue. I want to continue this because it is on YouTube, and I want him to go back and watch it. I want to give. Hold on one second, Santana. Let's give Jocelyn and Yolanda opportunity to respond to him, because even if he can't reconnect, I want him to go back. We're going to make sure that he go to our YouTube. Oh, there you go. We go get him back on. And I want him to be able to go to our YouTube and watch this. I know we lost you for a second, Jalen, but I want them to be able to continue to give you this. So just hang in there, and then we're going to let Santana go and you respond. I want to give Jocelyn an opportunity to respond as well.
So, you know, I hear everything that you're saying, and from a woman's perspective, I mean, the Bible just says submit to one another. So, I mean, but at the same time, it has to be reasonable. You guys have to be able to talk about it. If she wants to take Christmas, and you know, last year you had Christmas, and all of a sudden you're gonna take it, maybe, you know, say, hey, I hear what you're saying, but can we, you know, have a compromise? We'll have Christmas this year, and then as you go on your journey, so it has to be something like to where, because it's totally like abrupt, right? I think that's something that you're like, wait, okay, so now the children are confused. There's no transition in there or anything. So, I mean, I think it's being able to hear her, to talk about it in a way to where you guys communicate. And, you know, again, like what you guys were, John, you were saying about communication, and the other one that was saying about having communication classes, conflict resolution. These are things that we need to, you know, have in our Black and brown communities, is that how do we effectively communicate to where we're not belittling the person, we're not getting an attitude, we're not reacting in anger, but we're sitting there saying, hey, let's have a compromise. Okay, I hear you, because, you know, that's love, right? You know, you want to listen to them at the same time. Well, let's come to something where we can work this out as you're on your journey. You know, we can transition, and who you never know. And then during the compromise, as you're transitioning, she might find out later, like, oh, you know, this is not working for the household or whatever, or it's not working for everyone, you know. But as long as she's being heard, she can see too, how's it affecting you, how's it affecting the children. But the whole, you know, abruptness, I think this is the Bible said, now it's like it's my way or your way, and it's not letting her really see that it's gonna affect the family in a way that it's depressing to the children, depressing to you. You might have to like say, okay, and then, you know, you can't change how you feel. You're gonna try it, but she'll see that the household is not happy. You know, at the end of the day, if she really loves their children, loves you, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, I think sometimes people got to do like she's saying, go through that and just pray. At the end of the day, if you're a God-fearing man, you know, hey, it's time to go on a fast. Lord, you know, my wife is on this kick. You know what I'm saying? God, I need answers. You need to move. You know, at the end of the day, you can go in your prayer closet, you know what I'm saying, and do that way. Get some other men to pray with you. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know, so that way you can not have this fight, but you can like trust God that he's going to somehow, some way have the Spirit of God, you know, talk to her in a way that she's open. You know what I'm saying? But to say to a woman, you're gonna do this and that, sometimes she's like, whatever, you know, I'm gonna do it like I believe, because I've been that way. I was that person. But if my husband was kind of like, okay, hon, you know, I hear what you're saying, all right, you know what I'm saying, so then it allows me to go on my journey without any, but then at the same time, I still want to be mindful of my husband's feelings, because he gave me that to go ahead. She knows that, you know, she gave me. So then now she's being mindful of you because you were mindful of her.
That's very powerful, Justin. I love how you put that. Very deep stuff. See, here at both sides of the conversation, we believe the healing process begins with communication. Today,
Right.
This is powerful communication, people. Don't tell me this stuff don't work. Yolanda, come
It
on and get
works.
us. Hold on 1 second, Charlie. We got to let everybody. The queen was patient. Yolanda, then we'll give it to Santana. Then I'm coming back to you. So process. Think about what's being said. I want to see if you had an energy change since you started, okay? I want to see the power of the Lord, the power of the bishop. Let's go, Yolanda.
Yeah, I just real quick. When you were talking, and first of all, I want to say this. I wrote a book in 19 on reflection and healing, and to me, this sounds like some reflection and healing is in place. And I was also thinking about, like, right now in your season, you guys are unequally yoked, and so I know you know the scripture and you know what that's about. And for me, just like everybody else said, let her know that you understand this is personal. You know, I was taught in life we have to always do what's best for us. Maybe right now in this season it's best for her to go that route, but you're still the man, and I feel like she should still allow you to lead the household. And I think I forgot who just spoke, but don't abruptly do this to the kids. You know, let them still have a Christmas, right? And then next year y'all can revisit. And I would like to suggest maybe you guys can go to some counseling together if she's open to it. You know, somebody who's neutral, you know, who don't know you, or somebody that's going to take sides. But I feel like it is workable. And I would never tell anyone to leave their marriage, because I'm not a counselor or anything like that. I mean, I do have degrees in leadership and stuff of that nature. But if it's just not working, then you know what it is as a man, you know, what you may need to do. So, you know, definitely we support you. This is the best place to come get information from both sides. But yeah. Just, you know, stand your ground, be kind, let her know you hear her, and take it from there. So that's the advice I have for you.
And I want to give a huge shout out to my guy, Craig Cook. He is the CEO of Barbershop Talk. He is doing some amazing podcasting for men, to give men a safe space to talk about their feelings. So I want to make sure I shout that out, because I love my brother, and he supports me. I support him. And I know the last 2 Wednesdays I've been busy and I haven't been able to get in there because I got so much going on. But I want to give you a huge shout out, Craig, because you are the man. You are a king. You are demonstrating what's possible, and that's leadership, Craig. Shout out to you. But to my brother Santana, I know you had your head up. You've been waiting patiently, King. See, that's discipline, ladies. We do have some kings who have discipline. Santana, you are a leader, and you demonstrate what's possible. Give it to the brother, King.
Hey, listen, man, I just have more of a comment, well, a question for the brother. And my question is this right here. How important is your marriage?
Marriage is very important
to you.
Yes,
how important is it to you?
It's very important to me.
And if you didn't love her, and if you didn't love her, would you still want to be married to her?
If I didn't love her, would I still want to be married to her?
Mm-hmm. And that's not a trick question, by the way.
No, I wouldn't.
You would not.
Because then I would be doing it for all the wrong reasons.
And take your time.
I can't hear.
No, take your time, brother. He let you process. We're not in a rush here.
Yeah.
This is very powerful. Take your time and think about what the man is asking you. Santana, ask your question again. Oh, Santana. Go ahead, Santana. Did you hear what he asked you, Taylor?
Yeah, he said if I didn't love her, would I still want to be married to her? So can you hear me? Because I'm having communication problems.
He can hear you. Go ahead, brother. He can hear you.
Okay. No, I wouldn't, because then I would be in the marriage for all the wrong reasons if I didn't love her.
The reason I asked that question is, at this point, it sounds like you're very frustrated.
Yeah.
And with your frustration, there's a level of hurt, right?
Right.
So what do you do to prevent that? Because that can build. So what are you going to do in the meantime? What tools are you going to exercise in the meantime to make this work? Because right now, it sounds like you're going to have to be submissive to a lot of things about what's going on in your marriage right now. you're going to have to exercise submission to your wife right now while she goes through her season. So, but in the meantime, how do you keep those negative feelings at bay so you can continue to be a good father, a good husband, and a good Christian man? How do you do that?
Pray, like everybody was saying, pray, right? One of my biggest
outside of praying, you have to do some tangibles. You and I both know that faith without works is dead, right? We both know that. So I asked you that question for a very important reason, because I want you to do some inner searching for yourself so you don't lose who you are as a husband to her. And in this particular case, you might have to put the well-being of your marriage above what you're feeling.
Okay, I can accept that, right? But the issue, like I said, is not just with me, because within the process, I've seeked out counseling, right? I've seeked out, like an older couple in my church that have been through these issues and have been, 40 years in marriage. I got 6. So within that, right, the issues are not only pertaining to me, but it's pertaining to the household. It's my kids. My kids are confused. Mama didn't always speak in tongues. Why all of a sudden, is she speaking in tongues? And then my kids are going to the Bible and saying, well, mommy's not speaking the tongues according to what the Bible says. I explain that to them. They go back and they ask her these questions. Why are you doing things out of order? So it's not just, me that's of concern. I think I would be able to, say, okay, baby, you go ahead and you take your spiritual path. But what it's bringing is an imbalance and a little bit of chaos into the household, not just for me, right? And between work, church, my music ministry, I'm a choir director and a worship leader, right? My house is supposed to be my sanctuary. And, coming home, I'm dealing with all of this also. So when I say frustration, yeah, it's frustrating because, like I said in the beginning, we were both on the same, belief system and the same foundation. And now because of that's changing, right, it's also bringing about life changes that I think she should have consulted in me before she just went ahead and did it. That's where I feel the disrespect came in, right? Instead of saying, well, baby, this is what I believe in now. This is the journey I'm going to take. I'm going to, she just automatically came home, told her daughters, which I consider to be my daughters too, even though they're stepchildren, right? This is the path we're taking now. We're not celebrating Christmas. So now the kids are frustrated. They're mad about that, right? And then the tongues, they don't understand that. So it's just not just with me, it's the household.
Let me say this, brother. Let me just say this. This is my recommendation. And I'm going to tell you right now, I appreciate you being a black man with vulnerability. All right. And this is what I'm going to do, because I don't talk about things, I be about things. I'm going to ask you to seek professional therapy with you and your wife outside of a church. Okay. I want a professional therapist. And this is what we gonna do here at both sides of the conversation when you get off today. I'm going to pay for a few sessions for y'all. All right. That's what I'm going to do. And we're about changing the narrative. Okay. I want to help you because I hear you and I want to support you. Okay. Because I always talk about mental health and how important it is and all of this. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to be about it because, again, the questions and the answers that need to be answered, you and your wife is going to have to seek someone professional, not an elder from the church, not somebody that's been through these issues. I want y'all to go to a professional therapist. All right. And both sides of the conversation, we're going to pay for a few sessions and I'm going to find out how things is going. And if you feel it's working, I'm going to reach out to some of my community sponsors and get them to sponsor y'all some sessions or sponsor us to sponsor y'all to get more. Are you in agreement with that, brother?
I'm in agreement with that, brother.
All right.
Yes,
My
I
team is
am.
going to reach out to you. Put your phone number in the private chat. I want to make sure, because I know we didn't get you a link. Put it in the private chat. I'm going to get my executive assistant to reach out to you. We're going to find out where you at. We're going to find a professional therapist. You tell us if you want a black therapist or you don't mind. But I want somebody that's professional, not a church leader, not a pastor in the pulpit, not Deacon Jones and the first lady of the church. I want a professional therapist to work with you, okay? And I'm going to pay for those sessions.
Okay.
Don't let me down, King. I want to see you and the Queen work it out. Both sides of the conversation. We're going to cover that for you. Put your cell phone and information in the chat, okay? I don't want to lose you again. Put in the chat. I'm going to have my executive assistant reach out to you. I'm going to pay for a few sessions for you and the old lady, all right? That's a bet. And then you go reach out to me.
I appreciate you, brother.
You go reach out to me and you go tell me how things is going. If they're going well and you like what's going on, I'm going to reach out to some of my community mental health folks and see how we all can work together to bless you and the Queen. All right? That's my word, brother. That's my word.
All right.
All right, bet. All right. With that being said, go ahead, Precious.
We gotta get some therapy, and this is pertaining to the kids. Because I'm just from hearing what you said, I don't know what's going on, but it sounds like a lot of the kids' words are your words. I suggest that you move in your relationship, in your marriage, like a united front. So what your wife is going through and you guys are going through in your marriage, I'd say figure out what's going on with y'all and what's going on with her, and you explain to the children from a standpoint that their mother is figuring out what she is going through instead of causing I don't know if you're causing, I'm not saying you are, but sometimes when there is a rift in relationships and the kids don't understand what is going on, explaining to them from your own point of view can sometimes cause that's my alarm. It can sometimes cause a bigger rift within the family. So keeping it as you and your wife figure this out, and children, we're going to figure out what's happening when mom is going through whatever it is right now, and we're going to figure it out in the meantime, because children only understand from what you say if they only hear from your side. So they might be taking the side of their parent of your side because she isn't sorry y'all. They might be taking her side because they are unable to understand her side at the moment. But there shouldn't be a side in y'all relationship with the children. There should be one side, and that's me and mommy are figuring this out, and then we'll let you know what the end result is, because children should not make decisions on adult issues.
Man, that's real. So I know he just got broken off, but community, I have his number right here, okay? And I'm going to call him a man of my word, all right? We're going to bless that brother. I'm going to have my executive assistant reach out to him immediately. And if we have to find him a therapist in the local area he is for him and his wife, or he can find it and we're going to take care of it, I'm a man of my word. We are about changing the narrative in our community here at both sides of the conversation. And I promise you, community, we're going to bring Black love together with conversations like that. But with that being said, this has been a powerful, powerful conversation. I am energized. Today I've been on fire. The bishop is excited. But we have to go. We're running out of time. So what we're going to do this. Every show, okay, there go the brother. I think he's trying to get back in. Every show, we always give our panelists an opportunity to leave parting words to the community, words of encouragement, words of affirmation, promote their business, shout out their levels, whatever you want to do. We're going to give you that opportunity today. And then I'm going to give the benediction before the end of the day, because for y'all that don't know, they have gave me a new title here at both sides of the conversation. They have crowned me the bishop of both sides of the conversation. So with every show ending, I will give a benediction to the community. We're not passing no plates around, but I will give a benediction. I see Chalon trying to get in. Once he gets some service, we'll give him some parting words. But we're going to start left to right. I'm going to start with my brother Santana. We'll go to Jocelyn. We'll go to Precious, AR, Yolanda, and then the bishop is going to give the benediction. All right, Santana, give some parting words. Leave the community better than what we found it at 4 o'clock, my brother.
Yeah.
It's on you, Santana. Give some parting words to the community, King.
Okay, great. Listen, I just want to say thank you. Beautiful conversation, guys. Powerful conversation today. To the ladies on the panel, I think you guys are amazing. Brother AR, your youth doesn't exemplify your wisdom. And I just want to say, man, your wisdom exceeds your youth. You sound like a very positive young brother, man. I like your style and I like your words, man. And I like how selective you are in your conversation. And Precious, I think your hair is amazing. But seriously, on a serious note, John, that was real big of you to offer that brother services and help, because that's what we need. We need more help in our community. And I just want to leave the community with this. In 2006, there was a study that was done, and it was done inside of most of your local city holding tanks in about 5 cities in jails across this country. Chicago was one of them, and also New York City. In that study, what they found was 85% of Black men who were repeat offenders were undiagnosed mentally ill. Now, that study never saw the light of day. I know this because at the time I worked with the government, and I won't disclose that piece of it. However, that study never saw the light of day, because had that study came out and had it made it to the legislation, they would have had to put more money into our communities for mental health awareness. And I want you guys to think about it. In order for someone to go out and just shoot up a whole block and kill kids, it got to be something mentally ill with someone like that. For someone to go out and sexually abuse an old woman, it has to be something mentally ill about that person. They're not just evil, they're mentally ill. And I just want to say to the community out here, man, it is nothing more attractive than a submissive man or submissive woman. Of course, if we show that submission in different ways. And I just want to say thanks again and enjoy you guys, man. Thanks for having me again, John.
Hey, Santana, brother, I'm excited. I know there's been a disconnect, time has went by, and I haven't been able to reach out, but you are a king. I appreciate you showing up. You always give good words of wisdom. You always support Black brothers and sisters. That's why I appreciate and respect you, King. And I'm glad you was here today to give the jewels, the gems, the information that you always give so greatly and so transparently. And thank you for shouting out the young brother AR. He's a young gentleman. And we're going to be bringing him on both sides of the conversation so he can co-host with me, because y'all know I'm a little radical sometimes. Crazy radical. But I love the people. But this young brother here is going to keep me with balance. He's going to support the conversation. He's going to bring his young wisdom to the platform. And that's what we are always about, making sure our young people are equipped with the tools to be the great leaders that they are. So, brother AR, listen to Santana. He's a king. Great brother. Craig sent you some information. We're going to get you in the Black Man's Group. All right, the barbershop talk. Real stuff going on over there. But with that being said, Jocelyn, the queen of all queens, the woman that is helping single moms become the greatest moms on this planet, the women breaker. She's the women matchmaker, I guess. I don't know. She's helping queens out. Do your work, Jocelyn. Holla at the people.
Oh man. So, you know, I love that we're having this conversation, because this is the fact that he was able to come in. We need this, like you said, we need to see what that looks like. What are some examples of how we could, you know, what is submission looks like. So the fact that you were having this conversation was able, you know, the audience to see what it looks like in real life, you know, instead of just talking about it, and then actually have a resolve. This is what we need. We need this to go out there, and so people can know that, hey, it is healing that needs to be taking place. And how do we do that? Mental health, you know, getting our conflict resolution classes, communication, all of that is important so that we can heal as a community, you know. So at the end of the day, yes, you know, this is awesome, but you know, we've learned some valuable keys and valuable tools, and we actually saw what it is, what that looks like, on the subject of submission. So more of this means, you know, more people are going to be educated. More people are going to now go out and have some hope, and they're going to begin to do the process to heal. So thank you for having me. And I'm all for all of this.
Y'all don't know, I'm secretly recruiting Jocelyn to come on to be a co-host because she got some great perspective. The bishop loves the people. Precious, give some parting words to the community. And Shaylin, I know your phone broke up, but we'll get to you. I'm gonna first let all the rest of these folks give some parting words to the community because we're running up against the time. But Precious, the mental health therapist, the queen that has the magic genes, help our community out. Help them today. Give them a word for the mental health coaching that you give to the people. Let them know, queen.
Yeah, thank you for this platform, and thank you again for, that's big. Like, we need solutions. I'm with all the excuses. Anybody that has come to me, work with me, know I'm with all the excuses. Let's get it out. What you going through? Let's get it out, because you're going to use that as an excuse to not move forward. So let's get it out right now. But we need a solution at the end of the day. And you giving this brother some therapy, that's a solution. You know what I'm saying? My timer won't let me be great. But that's what we need. And everybody just be open and willing to continuously evolving, because we need to start understanding and knowing that we're going to keep growing, and we're going to keep getting the opportunity. And with opportunity comes challenges. And those challenges are meant to give you strength, because we pray for strength, but we don't never pray for the problems that need our strength. So be willing and open to go through those things. It's okay. It's going to be okay on the other side of them. And just know that continuing to move forward is making this decision to continue to be your greatest self, because on the other side of those troubles is the person that you want to be, or the situation that you want to be in, because you got to go through some dirt. You got to go through some dirt to flourish.
Wow. Very powerful stuff. Precious, thank you for those words. Thank you for being so open and transparent today. Thank you for your submission to the people, the brothers, the kings. You are a leading example of what submission could look like if more women follow your leadership. Thank you, queen. Brother AR, it's on you. Give some parting words to the community, king, and let them know before we exit out of here today. And Shaylin, hold on, because we're going to give you some parting words too, king. Just hang in there. Go ahead, AR.
First of all, I just appreciate being able to be on the show again and just spending this time with y'all. I spoke more last time I was here, but I liked that there was, a majority of older brothers and sisters here, because, I realized that I learned a lot through listening, right? And I learned a lot through reflecting, so I just want to say that. And, I don't know if it's Shaylin or Kaylin, but, I appreciate you, having the courage to come and sit and let people who you don't know talk about, kind of speak into your life, because that could be kind of like, it shows a sign of humility, and I think, I feel like God always gives us the answers when we humble ourselves, so I don't know. I love that. I love that for real. I just learned a lot today just through listening. And parting words I say is, something I've learned for me personally is I can only grow as much mentally as I'm willing to grow emotionally. And I can only grow as much emotionally as I'm willing to grow mentally, right? By listening and by reflecting on what I'm hearing, and not allowing how I feel to dictate the facts, right? And like, Precious was saying, having a solution, once the facts are clear to me, so that's it.
Man, powerful stuff. You are a young king. You are stepping in your greatness. God has put an anointing on you that you haven't even stepped into yet, AR. Something great is coming your way. You're very talented. You're very well spoken. He's a model. He's a superstar. And he's here at both sides of the conversation. All we do is bring the best. All right? We bring the best. Yolanda, queen, speak to the people.
AR, you are going to be in my film coming up. Don't forget to text me. You have further solidified what I saw when I first met you. John, both sides of the conversation. I love you guys. I'm grateful for this platform. I'm glad to have met all of you. And I just want to just say that just continue to grow, right? You know, a lot of people, sometimes, not everybody, think they kind of just know everything, right? They're well seasoned. But I strive to walk in wisdom. So I'm always learning, I'm always evolving. So just continue to learn. You know, you have some beautiful ladies on here that are life coaches. Connect with them. If you guys have your information, it'd be good to put it so people can reach out to you. It's just very powerful. And thank for everybody perspective, because again, like somebody just said, I learned from each one of you. I don't know everything. I can only bring things that I have been through, my own testimony, and me writing a book. And I'm getting ready to start my film next year, so a lot of stuff is gonna be coming up. So y'all be on the lookout. But AR, I got to connect with you. I want you to be in my film. That's gonna be powerful.
Man, very dope stuff. This is what this platform is about: connecting communities, bringing resources to the people. This is what we call changing the narrative from our voices. We didn't need nobody to tell us today. We are changing the narrative from our voices. Brother, where's my young king at back here? Shaylin, before we go, we want to give you an opportunity to leave some parting words to the community. I got your information, King. My executive assistant will be reaching out to you immediately. We're going to be there. We're going to walk you through this process. But unmute yourself. Give some parting words to the community. And again, tonight, I want you to control the ego and tell the old lady, there's some things that's going on. But with God, the help of community, we're going to walk through this together. But go ahead, brother.
Amen, brother.
Talk to the people.
I'll tell you like this. You know, I've experienced, you know, quite a bit of different things. You know, after doing 27 years, my brother, and getting out and, you know, seeking, you know, God's, you know, hand in my life has just been a journey. I'm also a part of ARC. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with that, Anti-Recidivism Coalition. We promote, you know, wellness and health, and also a part of, you know, like I said, the music ministry at my church. So anytime, you know, situations come up, I've got plenty of different, you know, people that I go and I talk to. But like you said, I think the professional therapy might be in line, because this one here is a tough subject, brother, when it comes to religion. And especially, I believe, being on the same foundation biblically is a strong foundation for a family. Being in separate ones, not to say that I don't, you know, want her to go on her spiritual journey, but, you know, just changing up the household, it's difficult right now. But like, you know, you brothers said, be patient, be humble, right? And be understanding within the process. And, you know, maybe after her journey, you know, it might come back to us being even stronger within it, you know. So I have to keep that positive mindset, that positive outlook, and don't get discouraged or frustrated within it, and be the loving husband, you know, that I should be. And I appreciate all the knowledge. I appreciate the help. And definitely there's a spot for me to come in and also give up some ground on some information and knowledge and wisdom that I know, you know, pertaining to like I said, after doing 27 years in the system, and then you know, God just blessing me beyond all measures with the family and with church, my ministry, and everything else. The road to, you know, to the Lord, you know, is narrow. But God done made it so wide for me with so many different blessings and opportunities, man. I'm just humbled to even be on this. You know, I was scrolling through, and automatically I just seen it. I was like, okay, let me check this out. And here it is. I got some positive feedback today from some brothers and some sisters you know, I'm originally from Oakland, right? So, you know, I'm with the movement, you feel me? But God bless you all, and I appreciate everybody's information tonight, man. And I'm humbled by the experience, and thank you.
Man, thank you, King. And I just want to say this. I don't want you to wait till she get to the other side of the process. You said you love her. You said you want to be there. I want you to walk through this while we get you a therapist. As I said on the air, and I'm a man of my word. I'm going to allow you to either find a therapist or I will have my team find one in your area that you choose. And we will provide y'all those sessions. All right. And I want you to have that conversation when you're ready with the lady and let her know. Both sides of the conversation is going to bless us to go see professional therapy because there's a concern in our. Who just pressed that? Please don't press the buttons. We're going to bless you and make sure that we give you an opportunity to work on your marriage. We believe in Black love. We believe in Black healing. We believe that Black folks can do it if we get the right support. Sometimes listening to brothers ain't going to be the right answer. Sometimes listening to sisters ain't going to be the right answers. Sometimes we have to seek the professionals. We have to do that dirty work. And it's going to be work, but we're going to walk through you with that process. All right, King? I appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
This is why I say God is good.
All the time.
Somewhere he said, brother, tune in. And you're here today to get blessed by both sides of the conversation because y'all know all we do is bless our people. And we're going to continue to bless our people. This King right here, I just want to give you a huge shout out, King, because I've been saying this all year. Go back to my YouTube. Look at a lot of our Sunday conversations. I continue to say we need more Black men to come on this platform and be vulnerable about the things that are erupting in our lives so we can help each other win. And you are a real testament, brother. And I just want to tell you, a King, salute to you, brother. Keep living good life. Keep praying. God will make a way. I promise you. All right, community. I know people like, what's that y'all strong? Be patient, community. Have discipline. I've been saying it all day. AR, we was out feeding the people today. How many times did I say, be patient to the people? A lot of times. All right. Yeah. Discipline is needed. All right. AR is a witness for y'all be thinking that both sides of the conversation don't show up for the people. Was we out blessing the people, AR? He's seen the blessings.
Yeah, we was there. We was there this morning, this afternoon, yeah.
We blessed the people with cash, gift cards, food, clothes, everything that they need. We don't play with our people. We bless the people. All right. With that being said, because we got to get out of here. As I told y'all, they call me the bishop now. This is the segment of the benediction. We're not asking for a plate. We're not asking for an offering. We're just going to wrap up today's show from the bishop. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to give the benediction to the people before we leave today. As you all heard, there's powerful words from people. People. It takes all of us to connect. It takes all of us to communicate. When we talk about both sides of the conversation, it's truly that in essence. Both sides of the conversation. Today, you heard from the queens. You heard from the kings. A powerful conversation on submission. We know that word submission, it can trigger you. It can make you not even want to speak. It can give you a negative tone. But today, we were able to have a conversation that was very powerful. In the midst of submission, in the midst of the conversation, a king came on. He heard something. The higher spirit connected with him and said, this is where you need to be. This is the place today for you to connect with some people who might understand or might lead you in the way that you need to go. We are now connected with a king that we're going to be able to uplift. And we're going to help push and walk through the process of understanding and maybe even the process of submission on both ends. It takes a true family to work through problems. When you're willing to work and you're willing to be there, you have to do everything in your power to make that complete. The king was open. He spoke many words. He talked his testimony to the people. It is very hard to find Black males, no matter the age, to come out publicly and talk about the frustrations, the disappointments, the hurt, the lack of respect when you are a man of your household. But he was vulnerable. He opened up. He said, community, help is what I need. He asked for a solution. Today, we gave him that solution. We're going to support him through this journey. In the midst of a conversation, y'all, we can bring our community together. It takes discipline. It takes patience. It takes understanding. We have to do this. Mental health is real in our community. Too many times we have been told mental health is the devil. Mental health is, you're crazy. Today, what you seen was a real conversation about mental health to uplift us. You heard from the coaches. You heard from the wisdom of Precious. You heard from Jocelyn. Nothing but great feedback to the people out there that are watching today. Seek your own journey with mental health. Seek your own journey of healing. It is needed. We all have been through trauma, pain, things that have impacted us in ways that we don't even know. It's a word called trigger out there. When we are triggered, it's things that infected us. The PTSD is real in the Black community. We have to work together to fix our own problem. You heard the brother Santana. Brothers, we got to be accountable. We got to do the work. I saw my brother Craig out there. Barbershop Talk is another space to get that conversation, to uplift each other. And that's what we're going to continue to do. We could do many things if we work together. It takes all of us on this journey to heal each other. Kings and queens. Today, what I felt was kings supporting kings, queens supporting queens, and kings supporting kings, and queens supporting kings. So don't tell me that this conversation, when we talk about changing the narrative, can't happen. You all that know us, that's been around, know both sides of the conversation. We believe through conversation, a healing process begins. Today, I don't know about you. I feel like there's some healing that's going to happen in our community. All right? So with that being said, that is the benediction. Thank you all for tuning in and being a part of today's powerful conversation. This is our last Sunday conversation of the year, y'all. This is the last one. But we will be here starting January 8th. We're going to come back new, refreshed, enjoy. We're going to do all of the great things that we need to do to impact our community. We're going to continue to support you. Continue to support us. We're going to continue to bless the people because that's what we do here at both sides of the conversation. We're going to uplift you, uplift us in this holiday season community. Be safe. We know times are hard. When you out shopping, be careful out there, queens. There's a lot of predators in our community that are robbing folks. Be safe this holiday season. But remember, the holidays is just not about gifts. It's about family. It's about forgiveness. It's about togetherness. And I hope this holiday season, you out there can find it in your heart to forgive somebody who hurt you this year, who disappointed you this year, or maybe didn't come through this year. To the queens out there, I hope submission comes in your life. Sometimes the kings just need our queens to be submissive. And to the kings, don't let your ego, don't let your macho not allow you to be submissive to the great queens of our community. Together, we heal. If we don't, we fail. We fall down the hill, as they say. But in unity, we can do many things. Thank you all for tuning in to this powerful conversation today. I am the bishop here at both sides of the conversation, and I will continue to bless the people. We will see y'all next year. Y'all will still see us in the community. We will be doing stuff all throughout the holidays. We just won't be live, but we will be in the community with the people. Brother Santana, I love you, brother. Jocelyn, queen, I love you, queen. Precious, I love you, queen. Yolanda, I love you, queen. AR, I love you, king. Hey, my guy down there, I see you, brother. Shaylin, I love you, king. In the Black community, next year, 2023, let's start telling each other we love each other. It's okay. Let's uplift each other. All power to the people, both sides of the conversation. We'll see y'all soon. Have a blessed evening, people.